it was also really exciting to do Galadriel coming to Numenor, that she would be like, I can't believe that I'm actually here. Even someone as powerful as her, that was something that kind of surprises her and awes her.
Galadriel started season 1 with a very specific vendetta, but she had nowhere to really direct it yet. Now, at the end of season 1, you have someone to direct it at. What has that journey been like for you? Has Galadriel increased tenfold in rage? Where are we now with her?
I think that when we started, she was very on her own and kind of arrogant, that she knew what needed to be done. And I mean, it went terribly for her because that's not how elves should be. And so I think she's now at a point where she will learn to appreciate that she's part of something bigger than herself, and realize that she can't be guided by her pain.
You and Charlie Vickers had too much chemistry. I was like, okay, maybe Galadriel should ditch Celeborn. That would be great. So, which made the reveal all the more shocking. My question for you is, was this intentional or was this accidental? Because he does ask her to be his like dark queen. So what were we playing into here?
I'm so proud that people loved mine and Charlie's chemistry. And I'm also really proud that came from basically like a really brilliant working relationship. Charlie is a fantastic man, and I felt so safe with him. And that safety meant that we could like explore loads of different things that kind of just wouldn't have happened if there wasn't that feeling of that. And I think Galadriel is desperate to feel anything but pain. And Halbrand, or so he seemed to be, he kind of vibrates with an energy that is different and exciting and makes her feel like there's a possibility to feel something other than grief. And then obviously she was very wrong to think that they kind of had as much in common as she thought they did. But no, it's really exciting as well, because I think kind of they're very different, but they share power. And that's quite frightening when those two come together, whether it be kind of to make a union or to battle. Both of them are terrifying.
Very true. Very true. And speaking of Celeborn, I think that there's like the moment in episode 7 where we get a window into additional loss in Galadriel's life.
That name to drop. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, because every episode I'd be like, where are your husband and child? What is happening? So not that you are going to tell me, but it sounded like he left, he never came back, he's obviously dead. Do you know the actual fate of Galadriel's familial relations and where that will end up in the timeline, or don't you know?
She definitely thinks he's dead at this point. This is what's so crazy about elves. You know, they could not see someone for literally millennia, and then suddenly they see them again. And I think that that's a deep, deep sadness and a big part of like why she's so rogue at the moment. Because, you know, like I love thinking of where Galadriel ends up. She finds a semblance of peace and she's with those she loves. And I'm now rambling because I can't say anything on that, but it's very exciting to think about.
Wonderful. I agree. It is exciting to think about. Speaking of where she ends up, though, in general, Galadriel is one of the Rings of Power characters, aside from Elrond, with the most material behind her. You could read a bunch, you could watch a bunch. Does that make it more difficult for you when you're carving out your space for her, or easier?
It's kind of interesting with Galadriel because there's a lot written about her, but also he changed his mind about her quite a lot. And particularly with kind of Celeborn and Galadriel, there's lots of different ideas of kind of where he comes from and how they actually met. So there was I felt really lucky that had lots of stuff that also still granted quite a lot of freedom. But yeah, she has such duality to her. Like she is powerful and then also so gentle. But I think something I love about her is that men are frightened of her. I mean, men as in like the realm of men.
Yes.
they're in awe and they're frightened of her. And that's something I was really kind of like.
Yes, I love that. I mean, you are one of the characters that gets to travel the most, I think, in season 1 and really interact with the largest number of other characters. So
Yes.
in your travels, what other character did you find that you connected with most, or that whose story you found most invigorating?
I love Galadriel and Muriel's relationship. And I think Muriel's a bit of a turning point for her because she sees someone she can relate to her more than she can to anybody else. This is a person who is feeling alone and is carrying the weight of like a people and a nation, and handling it, I could say, with more grace than Galadriel. So yeah, I really love that relationship. And also it was just really exciting to meet Ismael's character, Arondir, because I didn't necessarily know that we were going to cross paths. So that was really cool. But yeah, no, it was great to it was also really exciting to do Galadriel coming to Numenor, that she would be like, I can't believe that I'm actually here. Even someone as powerful as her, that was something that kind of surprises her and awes her.
You talked about kind of Galadriel understanding her place in the elven world, if you will, right? That she's part of a larger community. So as an actor for you, what is it like to get to draw from all of this different elven lore and then also see it come to life?
So much fun. I read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, but I hadn't delved into the Silmarillion. Remember we had it at home and my mum was like, that is very hard. You'll struggle with that. And finally got into that. And I just like, the elves are crazy. They did like a lot of damage and crazy things. And also that they like, just talking earlier about that, they're kind of stoic, but then they suddenly weep. Can't remember who it is now, but which of the elves that like meet in a forest and then just fall in love and they stare at each other for 50 years? Like, they're quite weird. And I love that aspect of them. Yeah, and I think she's apart from her elvishness at the beginning, and she needs to get back to that vibey elf way of being.
I love that. So then my final question for you is, while we are waiting for more Lord of the Rings, where will we be seeing you next?
I can't say exactly where you'll be seeing me, but I've been really excited by kind of what we're exploring. And it's quite a lot of new villains, which is really fun. I think that's what's so like, Sauron's the big bad, but there's loads of sketchy people in Middle-earth with bad intentions.
Well, I cannot wait to see Galadriel cross swords with a few of them. Yeah. Thank you so much. You have been wonderful, and I love your Galadriel. Thank you. Have a great day.